Welcome to Unit 7. In this first lesson, we are talking about the comparative. As we've seen in the previous grammar lessons of adjectives in Unit 6, they describe nouns. In the next two lessons, we are going to study how to convert a normal adjective into a comparative or superlative. Let's see an example. Big, bigger, which is the comparative, the biggest, superlative. Now comparatives. The comparative is used to compare two different elements. We use an adjective plus than. Let's see some examples of comparatives. My car is slower than your car. She is more intelligent than her brother. To create a comparative, we have three different ways. The first way, you add er or something similar. The second way, we add more, less, plus adjective. And the third way is for irregular adjectives. Let's first take a closer look at adding er or similar. For one-syllable adjectives, add er. Fast becomes faster. Slow becomes slower. For one- or two-syllable adjectives ending in e, add r. For example, nice becomes nicer. Large becomes larger. Simple becomes simpler. For one-syllable adjectives ending in a consonant plus vowel plus consonant, add consonant plus er. For example, hot becomes hotter. Big becomes bigger. We had to add a T here for hotter as well as a G here for bigger. For two-syllable adjectives ending in y, change y for I and add er. For example, happy, you change the Y to an I and make it happier. Funny becomes funnier and silly becomes sillier. Now let's take a look at add more or less plus adjective. For two-syllable adjectives not ending in Y, add more or less before the adjective. Intelligent becomes more or less intelligent. Beautiful becomes more or less beautiful. Careful becomes more or less careful. Lastly, we will talk about irregular adjectives. There are some adjectives that are irregular. Let's see the most common. Good becomes better. Bad becomes worse. Far is further or farther. Little is less. Let's see some sentences. We are stronger than they are. I'm happier than he is. You are sexier than me. They are more intelligent than their parents. She is worse than her sister. As. We can use as and as to make comparisons with things that are equal. How do we build the sentence? You have your sentence followed by as plus adjective or adverb plus as, and then you finish your sentence. For example, I am as tall as you are. Your dog is as small as hers. Please drive as quickly as you can. Not as and as. We can use not as to make comparisons with things that aren't equal. It's very similar in form, however, you have sentence followed by not as plus adjective or adverb plus as followed by the rest of the sentence. Some examples. I am not as tall as you are. Your dog is not as small as hers. Please do not drive as quickly as you can. Compare to, please drive not as quickly as you can. The comparative. This structure is used to show that two changes happen together. The second change is often the result of the first. Let's look at the form. You start your sentence with the plus comparative plus sentence, followed by a comma, with the plus comparative plus sentence. Some examples. The more we know, the more we want to know. The more facts we have, the less we seem to know. Don't forget the comma between the two parts of the sentence.